Welcome back to Perfect Love and Perfect Trust. My name is Destiny, and today we have a guide on how to connect with your spirit guides. So there's a bunch of different things that we can do to do that. And if you would like to book a personal reading, the email to do that is going to be in the description box of the channel, the description box of the channel. So, all right, guys. Now, there's multiple ways to connect with your spirit guides. We're going to be doing multiple different tutorials. This one's just going to be strictly talking about how to connect with your spirit guides. So one thing I like to do is get a dream journal, because if you ask your guides and your angels to connect with you and you're meditating, you're talking to them, you speak to them in prayer. When you decide to pray, praying is very important, even if you're not Catholic or religious of any sorts. Praying is important because you are putting things out into the universe, and the universe will respond, I promise. And that's why, like, people talk about seances or spells or whatever. When multiple Wiccans get together or multiple Christians, it doesn't matter. When people get together and they're all focusing on one thing, it's gonna happen. So you put it out there, it's gonna come back. So, meditate. Ask your spirit guides what their names are, what they want to be called. Ultimately, it's just gonna be a title for you to use for them, because they're not a gender, and so they can't necessarily tell you Julie or Jack, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a wide range of people that are spirit guides that you might have in your life at different times for different reasons. Sometimes you'll have a certain archangel in your life, and other times you'll have another one. It just depends on what you're going through at that time. And you will have some guides that will be with you for life, and those usually are people that you lived with in a past life that decided that they were not going to go ahead and incarnate into this life with you, that they were just going to guide you and be there for help along the way, which you could have done the same thing for someone else in their life, or you might later on your journey of your evolving of your soul here. So there's a lot to get into with that. We'll do a video on reincarnation and such like that, but right now we're gonna stick with this. So back to the guides. A dream journal, like I said, that is very important. And you talk to them and you ask them, and if you do substances or maybe even take sleeping medication, try to avoid that as much as possible. Tire yourself out naturally so you can remember your dreams, because people who do those kind of things, they might have dreams, but they just don't usually remember them. And if that's not an option for you, well then meditation, and imagine yourself in like a forest or in a park of some sort, somewhere very calming and peaceful for you, and get somewhere quiet and meditate on that place that is peaceful for you. And then you'll try to reach your guides. You'll try to contact your guides and just let them come. Don't let your own emotions get involved, or what you think that they might look like or say to you, or whatever it is you might want to be hearing at that time. Let it come naturally, and maybe you will hear what you're wanting to hear, but let it come naturally. And do that multiple times, as much as possible, once a day, twice a day, as much as you can. The repetition, it really helps. And trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. When something is off, trust that, and don't do it, or whatever it is you're feeling that you should and shouldn't do. Really trust that, and maybe even go get a reading done of some sort. Maybe that might help, because that would give you more clarification of specifics and details and things that your specific guides are trying to communicate to you at that specific time. I would suggest doing research on finding out who your guides are and who your angels are and your archangels are, and researching those people, researching those angels and those guides, and figuring out what it is they represent. And then that might clarify why they're in your life at this particular time because of something you might have going on in your life. Let's see. Another thing you could do to connect with your guides, there's quite a few things you can do, but mostly it's trusting your intuition. If you hear ringing in your ears, you need to really stop and think about it. Like, what am I doing right now? What thoughts were going through my head? You know, what's on the TV? Like, little signs. Like, your friend could send you a picture and it has a certain number on a sign in the background of who she took the picture of. That could be a sign for you. You have to start noticing things like that, because those are your spirit guides. Those are your angels trying to connect with you. All right, guys. Now, that was just a small, little, short, brief introduction of how to get in touch with your spirit guides. Like I said, if you want to book a reading, the email to do that is in the description box of this channel. I'll add it in the description of this video as well. All right, I hope some of this was helpful for you, and be kind to yourself and everyone else around you. Thank you.